Hi everyone, and welcome back to the Western Centurion channel. And today is Monday the 31st of July and I have a day off. So I just thought I'd try and give you a quick update on what I've been up to and what I've got done so far. But firstly, I must apologise for not getting the video up I thought I was going to get done during the week about setting up the servos using the MegaPoint controller servo boards. But I ended up on a kind of work on Monday, and on my calendar popped up telling me that I was on a Kaizen event the whole week, all 5 days. Now those of you who don't know what a Kaizen event is, just have a little search on the internet. It's spelled K-A-I-Z-E-N, and after reading that and boring yourself to tears, you'll probably find out why I was starting early and finishing late. But what I did manage to do was actually spend about 10-15 minutes each evening when I got back preparing some servos in the aluminium channeling, and that explains why there's only one servo left on my workbench, which is this one, because the other 9 are now all assembled and fitted to the baseboard and underneath the turnouts. And also, I expect you've noticed I have a digital IP Cobalt point motor there as well. Now I bought just one of those because I wanted to see the comparison between the two, and as you can see, size wise there is a big difference, and believe me, under the baseboard that does make a big difference as well. But not knocking the Cobalt, it's straight out the box. Wired in, let's say it took about 10 minutes, that's all, to get that up and running. Absolutely amazing. But the size is big and bulky. Now I know that obviously we have these boards here because the Cobalt has all that built in, but, and this is quite a big but for me, there's very little room to play about with it. All it will do is move from side to side and change the change the turnouts. Now it's absolutely fine if that's all you want them to do, but for me, I needed to be able to adjust these servos, and using the servo controller board you can do that very accurately. So yeah, I'm really sorry I didn't get the little video done on how I set them up, but I will do it again. I've already ordered another 14 servos, and I have another servo controller board as well. So when they arrive, I can set all those up and show you what to do and how to do it. Okay, so if I just take you around here, I'll try and do it nice and slowly because I've noticed in some of my videos I do it too quick when I move around. So these two turnouts, I expect you can just make out the piano wire there and there, or maybe if I come down to here, is that better? So yeah, I've got 2 servos in there, and I have another servo underneath that turnout, and there's one in there. Now I've already cut the piano wire down to size, and that's because that's the first one I put in which had a micro switch attached to it, and that was the only one I had in at the time. And in this one here I did actually have the Cobalt in there, so I was running the two together and both ran perfectly. Well, to start with, Cobalt no problem at all, but with this servo and the micro switch I did find I was starting to have a few problems with, but I'll explain that a little bit in a minute. And then around here again, these first 3 turnouts I put the servos in, and the 3-way turnout I've got the servos in as well. So now let me show you what it looks like underneath the baseboards. hopefully we'll be able to see, and it won't be too dark, not if I hopefully pull out both doors. So there, you can see the servos in place. They really are small. And one of the things you notice is that I do not have micro switches attached. Now there's a reason for that. And that is because in my usual style I've decided not to go with micro switches. I've decided to go with relays. And now after looking on eBay, I actually managed to find a relay board with 4 relays on, of the correct type that I need to use with the MegaPoint system. I think they're only £3.75 each, so I bought 3 of them and I'm waiting for those to turn up. So before I can continue, I've got to wait for those to arrive. And then once they arrive, I can have a little play about on my, I suppose I'll call this a service board. Because what I intend on doing is having the MegaPoint's servo controller board on here, and then fitting the 3 relay boards on here. So each relay board has 4 relays, so there'll be 12 relays altogether, which match up with this. I did have to buy an additional MegaPoint's frog stroke relay board as well to operate the relay boards. So that should be with me tomorrow, and hopefully the relays with me tomorrow or Wednesday. So I'm hoping everything will be here and in place, ready for me to do another proper update video on Saturday or Sunday coming up, and hopefully maybe have it in place. So yes, the whole idea is that if I have a board like this with everything on, I can then fit that board. Let's say for example, if I open this, maybe I can fit the board under here, because now I've got the relays in place. They take up so little room that I can actually afford to have something flush and move in. With a Cobalt I couldn't have done that. It actually hung down lower than here, so it would have interfered. So my idea is that everything's rigged up to that. All I need to do, I've got extension wires I can use for the servos, and then you've got the frog wires here. I'll just extend those with some more green wire to come to the board. So if any time I need to have a look at the relays or the servo controller board, I can just pull this out and they'll all be there in full view, instead of having to climb underneath. Now if we get down here, I hope you can see. Come on camera, I hope you can. Alright, you might just be able to make it out. That's that relay I'm telling you about with the micro switch on the side. Just there. Okay, now when it stopped working, I actually took the whole point off, checked it, everything was fine, the frog wires were fine. I put it all back and it worked again perfectly, and it stayed like that. But I was just thinking, if anything goes wrong with the micro switch, and yes, they're very reliable, but yeah, you will get the odd one that might fail. That's going to be a lot of hassle to take back out again. Whereas if I have a relay that goes wrong, I just replace the board or the relay. So to me, it's just a bit of a no-brainer. And the price isn't that much difference either. I was well surprised. So £3.97 for 4 relays. Alright, fair enough, you'll probably get that for, well actually no, for 4 good micro switches, like cherry micro switches, you can pay up to £1 each, or £1.50 each. That way you're probably guaranteed that they will last a long time, but some of the cheap Chinese copies and imports might not last as long. So that is basically what I've been up to, and just to give you an insight on what's happening, all because I changed my mind and decided to not bother with micro switches and go with relays. There's a bit of a delay whilst I wait for everything to turn up. Oh, and the power supply. I'm looking for a proper power supply, one which will maybe a bit more regulated than these are, and will stop the solenoids from chattering. So I don't know if you noticed in my last video, you could actually hear them. It sounds like they're speaking to each other. But if I can get something a lot more smoother output, that should get rid of that, eradicate that chattering. Oh, look, this turned up today. My Oxford Rail GWR Dean's Goods, or Dean Goods Loco. Tell you what, it's absolutely fabulous, and got it for a bargain price, £72 including postage, brand new on eBay. And that's all because I saw two that were being auctioned, and I was going to put a bid in. I waited and I waited and I waited, and in the end I think it went for £74, including £4.50 postage and packing. And in the link underneath, after I obviously didn't win it, there's that one which was buy now. So I did. I'm so pleased, and it runs beautifully as well. Really does, very smooth. So yeah, well, that's it. Look, as I said, I'll try and get another video up this weekend. I should have a lot more stuff in place, and we'll have a little play about with not only the servos and the servo controller boards, but the relays as well. So maybe I can get that done Saturday, and Sunday we can have this lovely Hornby 08 First Great Western shunter moving across the turnouts, because in one of my last videos where I had these two locos, the Class 52 and the Class 37, of course they got long wheelbases and they cleared the frogs. That's why they seem to run nice and smoothly, because the frogs were actually dead because they weren't wired up. But next video, when they're running, or when the 08 is running, the frogs will be active and switching as they should do. Okay, so anyway, you all have a great week, and hopefully catch you the weekend. Bye bye.